As we interact with others, some circumstances are not always warm and accommodating. They are sometimes accompanied with projections and discriminations. But how is projection and discrimination related to our topic today? Let's find out the answer only here on DepEd Davnor Tele-Aralan.
Tara na mag-aral, tutok na sa DepEd Davnor Tele-Aralan. Manood, matuto sa mga guro, masayang magkaroon magkasama tayo. DepEd Davnor Tele-Aralan, DepEd Davnor Tele-Aralan.
Hi there! Welcome to English 9, an exciting time as there are many opportunities for you to succeed. This is Sir Julius, ready to impart the knowledge, skills, and life lessons that you can't refuse. Today, we are officially on our third quarter. So, I do hope that you are still excited and interested to learn new set of lessons. This is English 9 with Sir Julius. After going through this self-learning video lesson, you are expected to make judgment based on given scenarios, differentiate biases from prejudices through examples, weigh information to make decisions, and supply correct answers to given exercises. Before we start, let's find out what you already knew about this lesson. Determine whether the given scenario shows bias or prejudice. Clap once if the statement shows bias. Clap twice if the statement shows prejudice. Ready? Let's get started. Number 1. Not hiring someone because of their age or gender. The correct answer is bias. Number 2. Assuming someone is a gay because of the way he acts. The correct answer is prejudice. Number 3. Bullying and discriminating someone with disability. The correct answer is prejudice. Number 4. Accepting exclusive membership of clubs where certain people are not allowed. The correct answer is bias. And number 5. Posting negative comments in social media about economic status of a family. The correct answer is prejudice. Did you get them all correct? Very good! At your age, you are very familiar with the adage, no man is an island, aren't you? We have learned to live not only on our own, but with the help and presence of other people. As we interact with others, some circumstances are not always warm and accommodating. They are sometimes accompanied with projections and discriminations. Sensitivity towards others' feelings and the situation is a huge factor that will lead us to a world where equality reigns. What comes to our mind when you see this logo? Correct! It is a segment of a famous noontime television show, Eat Bulaga. Was there times in your life where you caught yourself judging others? How about being judged by others? Do you consider yourself judgmental? Then, how will you judge these given dialogues? Do you believe that the statement shows fairness and equality? If your answer is no, then you are good in detecting prejudices. But what made you say that the dialogue shows prejudice? First, let's define the term. Prejudice is a preconceived opinion or feeling towards a person based solely on their affiliation with a group. This feeling may be translated into action by discriminating against the person or members of the target group. An individual may be prejudiced against others based on factors such as race, age, gender, sexual orientation, class status, religion, nationality, and amongst other things. For example,
I don't want blacks living in my neighborhood.
I don't want foreigners owning businesses in my town.
I don't want LGBT community in my city.
these examples clearly shows that there are prejudices going on. The statement prejudge against black people, foreigners, and LGBT members basically because of their race, nationality, and orientation. Even though these people have not done anything wrong yet, but because of their background, people tend to prejudge them and eventually discriminate them. This is very common in our society, even at this very present time. Another term that causes confusion is called bias, but these two terms differ from each other. When we talk about bias, it is a tendency to lean in a certain direction, either in favor or against a particular thing. To be truly biased means to lock a neutral viewpoint on a particular topic. Somewhere along the line, bias took on a negative connotation. If you're biased towards something, then you lean favorable towards it. You tend to think positive of it. Meanwhile, if you're biased against something, then you lean negative against it. You tend to think boon of it. For example, in other Christian sectors, the preacher position is only given to males and not to females. Sectarian schools only accept students who share the same religious beliefs. Some churches don't accept women who wear pants instead of dresses or skirts during their services. In the given example, a certain group of people is given favor against the other. In number 1, males are given more power or authority than females. Number 2, students who are interested to study in a school but don't share the same religion can't be admitted. Number 3, women who want to attend church services aren't allowed to go if they don't wear the prescribed clothes for the said service. For us to see if you're able to follow our discussion, let's try to check some few items. Grab your pen and paper as we have the short quiz. Examine the given images closely. Identify which image shows bias or prejudice. Write the word bias or prejudice as your answer. Let's check if your answers are correct. Number 1. The answer is prejudice. The picture shows a man who believes he is better than the person with disability by laughing at him. Number 2. It is considered bias. Gender bias to be specific. It is clear in the picture that male is given superiority over the female. Number 3. Prejudice. The two men judge the man by his status. Number 4. Shows prejudice again. It's simply judging someone due to its color and race. Number 5. Bias. Someone can be biased depending on its angle of the situation. Wow, you did great in that one. Let's try another activity. Clap once if the statement is true, and clap twice if the statement is false. Ready? Go! Number 1. Prejudice is the opinion or viewpoint, while discrimination is the action. Is it true or false? The correct answer is true. Very good. Number 2. If someone is thinking poor of another person for his belonging to a certain race or for having different religious beliefs, then he has prejudice. True or false? The correct answer is true. You got it right. Number 3. Bias and discrimination are alike. True or false? The correct answer is false. Amazing. Number 4. Prejudice is taking action based on discrimination. True or false? The correct answer is false. You're doing well. And number 5. The tendency to favor one person, group, thing, or point of view over another, often in an unfair way, is called bias. True or false? The correct answer is true. Fantastic! Number 6. Denying someone a promotion because he is patronizing a different TV network is showing bias. True or false? The correct answer is true. You are correct. Number 7. Firing a woman for her job upon learning of her pregnancy is an example of prejudice. True or false? The correct answer is true. Another point for you. Number 8. Offering higher pay to a newly hired Christian physician over a mainstay Hindu doctor is an example of prejudice. True or false? The correct answer is false. Wow, you are right. Number 9. Putting up a greater number of washrooms in airports for females than males is an example of bias. True or false? The correct answer is true. One more to go. Number 10. Being not invited over a classy neighborhood's party because of their ethnicity and origin is showing bias. True or false? The correct answer is false. Perfect. It looks like you're through with this lesson. Congratulations for actively engaging in each of the activities prepared for you. Always remember that bias and prejudice tests aim to measure the strength of association between groups, and evaluations are stereotypes. The outcomes of this bias and prejudice test can provide a clearer picture of how people perceive those in their outer group. Helping people become aware of their biases and prejudices is a first step to addressing them. This has been Sir Julius, ready to impart the knowledge, skills, and life lessons that you can't refuse. See you again on our next episode in English 9. Thank you and see you next time. Bye!